Christopher. Checking video. Sorry it's late. As I said yesterday, silly amounts of driving, crawled into bed, fell straight asleep after sending that email. So, doing it this morning. There's a plane or a helicopter outside. Apologies if you can hear that. So, only train once this week. No worries about that. Let you catch up on work. That's absolutely fine. Hopefully you're feeling a little less stressed about that. Amazing stuff on the sleep and also on the cider, obviously. That's good stuff. I'm so glad that you are so happy about that. That's been the aim, basically, to just make you strong as shit, which is amazing. So I'm very, very happy with how that has gone. And yeah, if you hadn't trained for a few days, obviously fatigue's going to be a little bit lower. You might be a little more prepared for things. So that combined, obviously, with the determination, yeah, amazing job. Great job tripling that. Just make sure, obviously, that all the data is in the sheet. And at this point, yeah, protein's the main thing. Protein and calories. You've done really well keeping it around 3,100 to 3,300. Good job. And I mean, too relaxed is when you start gaining weight, as you've kind of rightly said down here. You don't want your weight to start creeping up. So, provided you can still lose weight and still perform well in the gym, freestyling the other macros isn't so detrimental all the time, especially with the type of training we're doing. We're not doing a ton of stuff that's going to require tons and tons of glycogen, so it doesn't matter quite so much. The main thing, obviously, is going to be protein to keep you full and to maintain muscle mass as you do cut down a little bit. Small deficit, 100 to 150 calorie deficit. That's cool. That's probably going to be quite hard to track, especially with you eating as much as you do. It's hard with the inconsistencies in food labeling and stuff to actually keep at 100 to 150 calorie deficit. So you could probably get away with a slightly bigger one, possibly kind of 200 to 300 calorie deficit, still perform well, still feel absolutely fine hunger wise. And it would just be a little bit easier to maintain that deficit and not be worried about kind of inconsistencies in food labeling mean that you go back up to maintenance on that day. So just something to bear in mind on that. Taking too much rest between sets. I have no time limits on that, provided you don't actually kind of cool down. So don't worry too much about that. But if you find that, you struggle focusing, then sure, tighten up on the amount of time that you're taking between sets. But do try and keep it, again, with the weights that you're using, at least kind of 3-4 minutes is probably what I would say, just in terms of not only kind of keeping yourself strong enough for the next set, allowing yourself to recover and whatever, but you're mentally preparing for that weight again. So, I mean, Laura breaking down over something and requiring pizza to fix it. Yeah. Obviously, there are going to be ways around eating a whole pizza. You could potentially, Laura will kill herself laughing at this, potentially split pizza. So that might be something to work around. Maybe look at making your own pizzas, sort of thing, as opposed to buying one. Injecting a little bit of fun into it, drawing smiley faces on the pizza with toppings, etc. All the kiddie stuff that's great fun. So these look like good choices. Obviously, bear in mind your budget with regards to single serving foods versus bulk buying stuff. Starting a new program. I've got it down as you needing a new mesocycle, unless I've cocked it up and you don't need that. But we started a new cycle, or I gave you a new cycle last week on the 3rd. Certainly that's what I've got on my my sheet. Sorry, let's see if we can find it here. Sorry, I've got you down as needing a new one on the 30th of October. So let me know if that's not the case, because if it's not the case, I'm confused. But yeah, that's all I've really got to say about that. Glad you like the form. Separate the training and nutrition aspects in section 1. You mean like, because this is the training stuff, and then this is the nutrition stuff. So do you mean like literally put like section breaks in there? Because if so, that's fine. I can tweak this, but like obviously this is iteration 1. We can tweak this. We can make this better. And I really like the idea about goals for next week, and a self-evaluation of how you did. I think that's a really good thing. I really like that, actually. So I may well end up putting that in. Elbow pain. Yeah, I can understand you being spooked. Don't worry about that. But let me know if it recurs, and let me know if there are any exercises in particular which set it off. And worried about gaining weight. Yeah, I mean, I've already addressed this with regards to the calorie deficit. I think, yeah, losing a few kilos is probably fine. Like you understand that you don't want to go too low, and you understand that you don't want it to creep up. But again, this is about addressing the issue in the context of your current circumstances as well, and controlling what you can control on this front. I will watch the videos and message you with feedback on them, or do another video if I need to do another video and point stuff out and whatever. For pull-ups next week, I don't mind which grip you use, especially if there is some elbow pain. You use whatever grip is most comfortable at this point. In terms of comfort, I'm thinking probably a neutral grip will be the most comfortable. But if you find that a slightly wider overhand grip or even an underhand narrower grip is more comfortable, it really doesn't matter too much. Just do the one that you prefer. Doesn't matter if you switch grips week to week. It really doesn't matter at all. So I would say that the neutral grip or the underhand grip, again, is probably going to be easier in terms of you getting a few more reps out. So I would potentially stick with that for now, but again, let the elbow pain be a deciding factor in that too. That's all for now. For next week, so moving forward, let me know about the training program thing, because I'm confused. And then next week we will review how all of this went. So I just smacked my microphone. Peace out.